Hello, my wild and beautiful friends. I'm so glad you're here. I've got another holiday recipe coming at you. Today we're going to make a super simple, healthier version of a Reese's peanut butter egg. Keep on watching to see how we make them. Okie dokie, guys. Star of our show, peanut butter. Let's talk peanuts. You can definitely just use store-bought peanut butter for this, but there's only a few ingredients, and I think it makes a huge difference to make your own. I have got a 16-ounce bag of dry roasted peanuts here and some brown rice syrup. I made sure to buy peanuts that don't have any added oil. I love the idea of being able to control the ingredients in our candies that we're making and just make them taste better and be more healthy for us. So we're just blending our peanuts up in a high-speed blender. You can use a food processor as well. I'm going to keep blending in stages, being sure to stop every 20 seconds or so to scrape down the sides and help our blender out a little bit. With this thick of an ingredient, you can definitely overheat your blender, so I just try to be sure to turn it on and off and help my blender out as much as I can. We're going to keep blending until the oils start to release in our peanuts and we start to get a creamy mixture that looks like this. Then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of brown rice syrup and a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And we're just going to keep blending until it's almost like a soft peanut Play-Doh type texture. That's how you know you're ready to go. It's going to look a lot like this. And while our dough was coming together, I started a package of semi-sweet chocolate chips on our double boiler here, little makeshift double boiler. Got everything nice and melted. I'm going to turn the heat off and we are going to start to fill our molds. I found these little egg molds on Amazon last year. I actually used them to make a vegan Cadbury egg recipe, which is amazing. I will link it above and below as well. Super delicious, but a little bit more on the sugary side than these guys. I feel a little bit more virtuous eating these with our homemade all-natural peanut butter filling. So I'm getting started with filling these. I found this method to be a little bit more easy than brushing it with a brush like I did with the Cadbury eggs. So I just put about a heaping teaspoon in each egg mold, and I'm using a half a tablespoon measuring spoon to kind of just push it up over the edges, and it has a nice little concave shape to it, so it fits and pushes in right against those curves of the egg. So this seemed to work out pretty well. Once I've got it all spread out, I'm just going to go back through with that measuring spoon and scoop out the excess with the back of it. So I'm kind of just pushing against the edge, and whatever's extra from the bottom that's settling down will come up so we can have a nice, even, smooth, and thin shell. And then I'm just going to pop these guys in the freezer for about 2 or 3 minutes so it can harden up, and then we'll be able to see where there's some thin spots in our eggs and add a second coat. So our first layer is hardened. I added about a teaspoon more of chocolate to each egg, and I'm pushing around the chocolate into any section that looks like it's thicker and then just kind of spreading it out. Essentially doing the exact same thing that I did the first time with a little less chocolate and just concentrating on those thin spots extra well. I'm also going to go through again and scrape out the extra chocolate that settles at the bottom so we can keep a really even chocolate. Then we're going to pop those in the freezer, and this is what they look like as they came out. They're nice and thick and luscious, and we're going to get started with our peanut butter dough. It has been a long time since I've had a Reese's peanut butter egg, but I feel like this peanut butter dough tastes just like how I remember it, except for it tastes more like actual peanut butter. There's still a little bit of sweetness. The texture's totally spot on, but it's vegan and it's a little bit healthier as well. Less added sugars and oils. So all I'm doing is going through with my dough here and making little egg shapes about the size of our egg mold. And we're going to pop those into the molds and cover them with chocolate. And since it's essentially just healthy peanut butter, Olive's got to give it a try, right? Taste test? Casey, yeah. Olive approved. We're doing good. So I also made these little egg shapes that I'm just going to dunk our extra chocolate in so we can have mini eggs as well. So you really don't need the mold, except for the mold just makes it so chic if you can find it. I'll link below where I found it on Amazon. Hopefully I can find it again. I think it's really worth it. It's something you can use every year, of course. So we've got our chocolate here, and we're just going to plop in our egg shapes. I overestimated a little bit, so I'm just gonna I'm gonna rework them and just kind of press them in here. If there's extra, you can just take some off. If you need a little bit more, you can push a little bit more in. Once we got them all filled, I'm going to go through and kind of scrape off if there's any extra that's coming over the top, just so we can make sure we get a really good seal of chocolate around all the edges of our egg. And I'm just using an angled spatula to do this very gracefully, as you can see, but it totally works. And then we've got our melted chocolate that's still melted. I kind of just kept it on top of that double boiler with the burner off so it would stay nice and warm. I'm just going to take that chocolate and do about a teaspoon or so on top of each egg, and we're going to take that same angled spatula and spread it around and just make sure we have a really good seal on all those chocolate edges. So we'll have a good solid peanut butter egg. And don't worry about being too clean about spreading out this chocolate. We can pop off and kind of smooth out the edges of our eggs as we pop them out of their molds once they're nice and cooled down. So once your eggs are covered in their chocolate backing, we're just going to either throw them back in the freezer, or I actually had to go to work, so I just left these on the counter overnight, and they firmed up perfectly. And they pop out. I just kind of pull around the edges like so, and then they'll pop out just great. If there's little edges like this left over, you can pop them off with your fingers and then go back in with a butter knife and smooth it out. And you've got yourself a perfect little Reese's peanut butter egg ready to enjoy. Look how beautiful those little gems are. Ooh, I'm so excited to eat these. And there you have it. Very few ingredients, super simple to make, super delicious. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. I hope you're staying safe and healthy. I can't wait to talk to you soon. Cheers.